Hello and welcome to Good Night Sleep Stories. I'm so glad you are here tonight. This is your gentle space, a place of peace, where the world outside can soften and fade, leaving you surrounded only by calm. As the soft patter of rain begins to whisper in the background, you can allow yourself to let go of the day. Each drop of rain, delicate and steady, falls like a lullaby against the windowpane, soothing your mind and guiding you toward rest. You have arrived exactly where you need to be. This is your time, your sanctuary, a moment just for you. With each breath you take, imagine the day's weight loosening, falling away, like leaves drifting down a quiet stream. You are safe. You are cared for. You are ready to relax. As you settle more deeply, let the rhythm of my voice carry you. Think of it as a gentle companion, keeping you company as you prepare to drift into dreamland. Notice how the sound of rain seems to wash through your thoughts, clearing space for stillness. Each droplet is like a tiny note of comfort, reminding you that even in the quietest of nights, you are never alone. Tonight, we'll journey together through a timeless story, one that has been told for generations, yet always feels magical and new. It is the story of a princess, a kingdom, and an enchanted sleep. But here, in this space, the story is not rushed, not filled with tension, but told gently, like a dream unfolding slowly, surrounded by soft light and the tender embrace of rain. You don't need to do anything right now. There are no tasks to complete, no worries to hold on to. This is your invitation to simply be. Allow your body to sink into comfort, your mind to soften, and your spirit to rest. Think of this as the beginning of a quiet, wondrous journey, where each word and each sound leads you closer to peace. Take a moment to notice how your breath feels, moving in and out like a tide. Inhaling cool, fresh air, and exhaling all that no longer serves you. With each exhale, you create more room for stillness. And as the rain continues to fall, you may notice how naturally your body begins to unwind. Perhaps your shoulders release a little, or your jaw softens, or your hands grow heavy in rest. This is the gentle opening, a warm welcome into a night of restoration. Soon, we will begin guiding your mind and body into even deeper relaxation. But for now, let yourself simply settle, knowing that this story, this soundscape, and this moment are all here to carry you safely into sleep. So, as the rain continues its soft, endless song, and as your breath grows a little slower, let us begin this journey together, peacefully, calmly, and with the promise of a beautiful night's rest. Good. You are here, and you are ready. And now, we will gently move into a space of guided relaxation, where your body can melt into stillness, and your mind can drift ever closer to dreams. And now, as we continue this gentle journey, let us turn inward, allowing your body and mind to soften even more deeply. This is your time to release, to rest, and to feel comfort wrapping around you like a warm blanket. The rain outside continues its steady rhythm, a lullaby woven into the night, each droplet reminding you that you are safe, you are cared for, and you can let go completely. Begin by noticing your breath, that quiet tide moving in and out. Inhale slowly, filling your lungs with calm. Exhale gently, allowing the day to dissolve into the sound of the rain. There is no rush. No need to control. Your breath finds its own rhythm, smooth and effortless, like waves rolling across a quiet shore. With each inhale, imagine drawing in cool, peaceful air, as if it is filled with the soft glow of moonlight. With each exhale, feel that glow spreading through your body, releasing tension, carrying away all that is heavy. In this moment, you are weightless, drifting peacefully, supported by the night itself. Now, bring your attention to the crown of your head. Imagine a gentle, soothing light resting there, warm and calming. As you breathe out, that light begins to melt downward, like warm honey, easing across your forehead, softening every muscle. The space between your eyebrows relaxes, your temples loosen, and your mind begins to quiet. Thoughts drift away like leaves floating on water, carried off by the rain. Allow that wave of warmth to move down into your eyes. The muscles soften, your eyelids feel heavier, as though they are being lulled into rest. Your cheeks release, your jaw relaxes, your lips gently part. With each breath, you notice how effortless it feels to let go. You are safe here, surrounded by the comfort of rain and the stillness of night. The warm, calming sensation continues to flow. It drifts down into your neck, easing away tightness. With every exhale, your shoulders sink a little deeper into the surface beneath you. Imagine them melting, releasing the weight they carried through the day. Feel them grow heavy, still, and peaceful. And now that wave travels into your arms. First through your upper arms, into your elbows, your forearms, and then into your hands. Notice how your fingers grow warm and loose, resting without effort. They are soft, heavy, at peace. Imagine every drop of rain outside washing over you, carrying away any lingering energy, leaving behind only stillness. The calming flow moves down through your chest. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your breathing, slower now, smoother. Imagine your heart surrounded by a cocoon of light, beating steadily, quietly, guiding you deeper into relaxation. Each breath, each beat, becomes a gentle rhythm that blends with the rain, like a song of rest written just for you. The wave continues downward, into your stomach. Allow your belly to rise and fall with ease, no effort, no tension. With every exhale, imagine your body sinking further into comfort, as though the bed beneath you is holding you in the softest embrace. You are being carried, supported, cradled in peace. Feel the warmth drift lower, into your hips, down your legs. First the thighs, loosening, softening. Then your knees, your calves, all the way down to your ankles. Finally, it reaches your feet, where the last bits of tension escape with each breath, flowing out of your toes, vanishing into the earth below. Your entire body is now heavy, calm, and deeply relaxed. From head to toe, you are bathed in softness, surrounded by peace, lulled by the rain. You are no longer holding on to anything. You are simply here, in this moment, at ease. As you rest in this stillness, imagine yourself in a cozy room, lit softly by the glow of candles. A window is open just slightly, letting in the scent of fresh rain and the cool touch of night air. Outside, droplets patter on leaves, creating a melody of calm. You sit or lie comfortably, wrapped in a blanket, completely safe, listening to the endless song of the rain. In this place, you feel a sense of timelessness, as though the night stretches endlessly ahead, filled with nothing but rest and dreams. The world outside is far away, and nothing is asked of you here. All that matters is this moment, this breath, this peace. If your mind wanders, simply bring it back to the sound of the rain, to the rhythm of your breathing, to the warmth flowing through your body. Allow each return to be gentle, kind, without judgment. This is your sanctuary, where even drifting thoughts are softened by the rain and carried away like mist. Notice how your body feels now, so much lighter, so much calmer. Every part of you is loose, heavy, and still. Your breathing is steady, slow, and deep. The rain continues to fall, steady and endless, wrapping you in its melody. And as you linger in this state, know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. There is no need to strive, no need to hold on, no need to think ahead. You are resting, safe and sound. The world will wait. Tonight is for you. Allow this relaxation to settle more deeply with each passing moment. Let the rain become your companion, guiding you further and further into peace. Soon, we will begin our gentle journey into a story, a dream woven through time and imagination. But for now, simply remain in this softness, letting the calm hold you, letting the night embrace you. You are ready. You are at peace. And now, the story awaits, softly, gently, like a dream calling your name. And now, as your body rests so deeply in stillness, and as the rhythm of the rain continues to soothe you, let us gently begin to cross the threshold from pure relaxation into the realm of story. There is no hurry, no sudden shift, only a soft unfolding, like the slow opening of a flower at dawn. Imagine the rain outside becoming more than just a sound. See it in your mind's eye as silver threads falling from a night sky, shimmering with moonlight, each drop carrying you further into a dreamlike space. The gentle patter on leaves and rooftops begins to weave itself into a tapestry, a backdrop for something magical to appear. You are still resting, still safe, still surrounded by warmth. But within this cocoon of peace, your imagination begins to stir. With your eyes closed, you may see colors, shapes, or fleeting visions, like soft lanterns glowing in the distance, or a path lined with trees that whisper in the rain. Each image arrives slowly, without effort, and you need only let it come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. As you breathe, you notice the world around you growing softer, more dreamlike. The air is cool and fresh, touched by the scent of rain-soaked earth. The sound of droplets becomes a lullaby of nature, drawing you further inward, deeper into this story space. Your body remains heavy, calm, still, but your mind opens, like a window onto a gentle new world. And now, as you stand at the threshold of this dreamlike realm, you begin to sense a presence, something timeless, something beautiful. A tale that has been carried through generations, spoken in castles and cottages, whispered by firesides, retold beneath starry skies. It is the story of a princess, a kingdom, and a sleep that lasts 100 years. But tonight, this tale is not hurried. It is not dramatic. It is told slowly, gently, like a lullaby woven with care. Each detail is soft, each moment tender, every word designed to cradle you into slumber. You may find yourself already drifting deeper, your mind painting the first strokes of the scene ahead, a peaceful kingdom, golden with light, surrounded by rolling hills and forests touched with morning mist. Within its walls, a story waits to be told. And so, as you rest here, let the rain carry you. Let the calm guide you. Allow the world of sleeping beauty to open before you like a dream. We begin now, with the first chapter of the tale, the Enchanted Kingdom. The rain continues its quiet song, falling gently in the background, steady and soft, a reminder that you are safe and at rest. As you listen, your imagination begins to open wider, and a new world takes shape in your mind. Far away, beyond the veil of time, there lies a kingdom. A land bathed in light and harmony, where the hills roll softly like waves of green velvet, and forests whisper secrets through their leaves. Rivers wander lazily through meadows dotted with wildflowers, their petals trembling under the touch of morning dew. The air there is always fresh, scented with pine and blossoms, and the sky seems forever painted in shades of gold and lavender. At the heart of this kingdom rises a castle, tall and graceful, built of pale stone that glimmers under the sun. Its towers stretch upward as though reaching for the heavens, and banners ripple gently in the breeze. The castle is not cold or distant, but warm and welcoming, a beacon of safety for all who live within its walls. When evening comes, the windows glow with candlelight, casting golden reflections on the cobblestone paths below. Within these walls, joy reigns. The people of the kingdom are kind-hearted and gentle, living in peace with one another and with the land around them. Farmers tend their fields with patience, bakers fill the air with the comforting scent of bread, and children's laughter echoes in the courtyards. Life flows here like a quiet river, steady and full of grace. And then, one day, joy blossoms brighter than ever before. For the king and queen, who had long hoped for a child, are blessed with a daughter. The news spreads through the kingdom like the fragrance of spring, bringing smiles and songs to every corner. The castle bells ring softly, not with clamor, but with warmth, their tones floating through the air like lullabies. The princess is welcomed into the world with love that seems boundless. She is described as delicate as a rosebud, her cheeks touched with the faint blush of dawn, her eyes closed in the soft stillness of newborn dreams. She rests peacefully, wrapped in silken cloth, while the rain outside the castle windows seems to fall more tenderly, as though nature itself joins in the kingdom's happiness. To celebrate her arrival, the king and queen prepare a gathering unlike any other. The castle halls are adorned with garlands of flowers, their petals perfumed and glistening. Long tables are set with golden cups and crystal pitchers, while gentle music drifts through the air, played on lutes and flutes. The glow of lanterns fills every corner, creating an atmosphere that feels both grand and deeply comforting. From the surrounding lands, guests arrive, noble families, loyal friends, and kind-hearted villagers, each bringing blessings and gifts for the newborn child. But more wondrous still, the invitation has been extended to the fairies, the guardians of magic who dwell in hidden glades and secret places of the earth. They are beings of light and beauty, tender in spirit, who carry with them the whispers of nature and the blessings of the unseen world. As night gently falls, the celebration continues. The rain beyond the castle walls taps lightly on the windows, mingling with the soft music and laughter within. The princess sleeps soundly in her cradle, her tiny breaths like the flutter of butterfly wings, unaware of the love and joy gathered around her. This kingdom, in its quiet splendor, seems timeless. It is a place where harmony lingers in every stone, every leaf, every breath of air. And on this night, with the arrival of the princess, it shines brighter than ever, a kingdom wrapped in both magic and peace. Here, in this enchanted realm, our story begins. The fairies are about to arrive, their presence shimmering like starlight on water. Soon, they will bestow their blessings upon the child, blessings as soft as whispers, as luminous as moonlight. And so, as the rain outside lulls you ever deeper into rest, let us follow the thread of this story further, into the gentle moment when the fairies gather around the cradle of the sleeping princess. And now, as we continue our journey, let us step softly into the castle once more. The night is calm, the rain still falls gently beyond the windows, and the halls glow with the warmth of candlelight. There is a sense of hushed anticipation in the air, as though every soul within the kingdom is holding its breath, waiting for something magical to unfold. At the heart of the great hall rests the cradle of the newborn princess. Draped in silk as soft as clouds, it is surrounded by garlands of roses and lilies, their fragrance mingling sweetly with the cool scent of the rain. The child sleeps peacefully, her tiny hands curled gently by her face, her breathing slow and steady, like the rhythm of the tide. Into this tender scene come the fairies, beings of light and wonder, invited to share their blessings with the child. They arrive quietly, like the whisper of a breeze through leaves, their presence both delicate and radiant. Each step they take leaves behind a faint shimmer, like starlight dusted across the floor. Their gowns glisten in colors no loom could weave, flowing like water, shifting like the hues of dawn and dusk. The people of the kingdom watch in awe, their hearts full of reverence. For they know that the fairies carry with them gifts not of gold or jewels, but blessings far greater, blessings of spirit, of heart, of life itself. One by one, the fairies gather around the cradle, forming a circle that glows like a constellation. The first fairy steps forward, her voice as gentle as the rain outside. She leans close to the sleeping child and bestows her gift. The blessing of beauty, not only of form, but of spirit. She speaks softly, and as she does, a warm light surrounds the child, as though every flower in the kingdom has turned its face toward her. The gift settles upon the baby like a veil of petals, invisible but everlasting. The second fairy approaches, her presence filled with calm. She offers the gift of kindness, a heart that will forever be gentle and compassionate. As her words are spoken, a soft golden glow rises, like sunlight streaming through a window at dawn. The princess stirs faintly, sighing in her sleep, as though already touched by the comfort of love. The third fairy steps near, her eyes sparkling like dew. She blesses the princess with joy, a spirit that finds delight even in the simplest moments, the song of a bird, the laughter of a friend, the warmth of the morning sun. Her words carry the sound of bells in the distance, clear and bright, wrapping the cradle in harmony. And so, one after another, the fairies give their gifts. Some bless her with grace, so that her every movement might carry ease. Others bless her with wisdom, so her thoughts may shine like lanterns in the dark. One fairy blesses her with courage, gentle yet strong, like the roots of a tree holding steady in a storm. Another blesses her with patience, a gift that allows her to wait with calm, to endure with peace, to trust in time's gentle flow. As each blessing is spoken, the air in the hall grows softer, richer, as though filled with unseen music. The rain outside seems to quiet, listening. The princess remains asleep, but her presence seems to glow, as if she is already wrapped in a cloak of light and love. The fairies' voices weave together like threads in a tapestry, each blessing becoming part of a greater whole. Beauty and kindness, joy and wisdom, courage and grace, all intertwine, creating a harmony that will follow her throughout her life. The king and queen stand close, their eyes shining with gratitude. They do not speak, for words seem too small for the depth of their feelings. They simply watch, their hearts full, as their daughter is wrapped in blessings finer than any crown. In the quiet that follows, the hall seems suspended in time. Candles flicker gently. The rain continues its steady song. The fairies bow their heads, their work complete, their gifts bestowed. Around the cradle, a soft radiance lingers, as though the blessings have taken root, blooming unseen within the child's heart. The people of the kingdom breathe again, their faces softened with wonder. They know they have witnessed something rare, something eternal. Not just a ceremony, but a weaving of destiny. And as the princess sleeps on, untouched by the weight of the world, she is surrounded by the whispers of those blessings. Each word rests upon her like a lullaby, each gift a gentle promise of what she will become. Outside, the rain drifts steadily against the windows, a quiet reminder that nature itself joins in this moment. And inside, peace settles like a blanket, as if the entire kingdom exhales together, wrapped in the glow of magic and love. The story will continue, for every tale carries both light and shadow. But for now, we rest in this moment of grace, where blessings have been spoken, and the child lies dreaming, her cradle surrounded by starlight and rain. And so, as the night deepens and the rain falls softly on, let us drift forward to the next part of our story, to the moment when another presence enters the hall, one whose gift will change the course of the tale forever. And now, as we continue our gentle journey, the story leads us into a place touched by wonder, a moment wrapped in enchantment, where the air itself feels alive with a quiet kind of magic. It is here, in the stillness of a royal hall filled with hushed anticipation, that the fairies step forward to bestow their blessings. Their presence glimmers like soft starlight, spreading calm through the space, and inviting you to simply rest within the unfolding tale. One by one, the fairies approach the cradle where the child sleeps peacefully, her tiny breath steady, her expression serene. The first fairy leans closer, her voice as tender as a whisper carried by the evening wind. She offers a gift of beauty, not the kind that dazzles or fades, but a beauty that radiates from within, a light of kindness and grace that will always remain. As the blessing is spoken, it drifts through the hall like a delicate breeze, leaving behind a soft fragrance of blooming roses, calming and sweet. The next fairy steps forward, her gown shimmering with the glow of morning dew. She lifts her hand, and with a quiet smile, she blesses the child with wisdom, the kind that arrives gently with time, never rushed, never forced, but always steady, always clear. The air seems to shimmer with golden warmth, like sunlight dancing across still water, inviting everyone who listens to breathe a little deeper, to slow their pace, and to feel the peace of thoughtful silence. Another fairy, her wings painted with hues of twilight, approaches with calm footsteps. Her gift is kindness, a heart open and tender, filled with compassion for all living beings. As her words are spoken, the hall softens, as though wrapped in a gentle embrace. You may imagine the feeling of a warm blanket placed across your shoulders, or the comfort of a loved one's reassuring touch, and in this moment, kindness settles into the child's life, and into the quiet of your own breathing. The fairies continue, each in turn bringing something precious, something timeless. One brings courage, but not the kind that shouts or storms. This courage is gentle, steady, like the strength of roots beneath an ancient tree. Another offers joy, a quiet joy that lives in small moments, the sound of laughter, the sparkle of rain, the hush of leaves swaying in a late summer breeze. As these blessings are spoken, they ripple outward, like rings across a still pond, moving gently into the hearts of all who are near, and softly into your own heart as well. And as the last fairy steps forward, her wings glowing faintly like the silver light of the moon, she pauses. Her blessing is of peace, a peace that endures even in the busiest days, even in the storms of life. It is the peace you feel when you rest under the stars, or when you listen to the quiet rhythm of your own breath. Her words settle like falling snow, cool and quiet, calming every corner of the hall, and easing every restless thought. Together, the blessings weave a tapestry, unseen but deeply felt. They wrap the child in warmth, in kindness, in wisdom, in joy, in courage, and in peace. And as you listen, you too may feel as though these gifts are being offered to you, softly, without hurry, without demand. A gentle reminder that you are already surrounded by beauty, already held by quiet strength, already touched by kindness. The hall glows with contentment, and the fairies, their task complete, draw back with serene smiles. Their wings fold softly, their presence lingers like the final notes of a lullaby fading into silence. The air feels lighter now, easier to breathe, as though all burdens have softened, and what remains is stillness, tender and calm. And so, the story continues, carrying with it the blessings of the fairies, a quiet promise of light and comfort that drifts gently onward, like a dream guiding you deeper into rest. And now, as we move forward, you may let your mind drift with the story, slow and unhurried, letting each word carry you further into peace, and deeper into sleep. And so, as the blessings of the kind fairies linger softly in the air, like petals resting on still water, a new moment begins to unfold within the story. The hall is still bathed in golden candlelight, the gentle laughter of guests carried on a breeze, when suddenly the atmosphere changes ever so slightly. It is not sharp or alarming, but rather subtle, like the shift of a cloud drifting across the moon. A hush passes through the grand chamber, as though every heart pauses together. From the far end of the hall, the tall doors open with a slow creak, and in their frame stands a figure cloaked in shadows. This is the fairy who had not been invited. For many years she had lived apart, far away from the songs and celebrations of the kingdom. Her steps are measured, her presence carrying a coolness, as if the night itself had slipped into the warmth of the feast. And yet, in this telling, we soften her arrival. There is no harshness here, no bitterness too sharp to disturb your rest. Instead, imagine her as a lonely presence, one who has wandered for so long that her heart has become wrapped in quiet longing. The hush that falls over the court is not fear, but rather wonder, an awareness that even shadows have their place beside the light. She comes forward, the sound of her footsteps echoing gently like droplets falling into a pool. Her eyes rest upon the cradle, where the little princess lies breathing softly in the midst of her blessings. And though the fairy's lips part to speak words of power, her voice is not cruel. It is calm, low, and measured, like the rustle of the wind through distant trees. With every word, the hall seems to lean closer, waiting to hear the shape of her gift. She does not take away the child's beauty, nor her kindness, nor her future joy. Instead, she places a condition upon the path the princess will one day walk. When she grows to her 15th year, the fairy whispers, she shall prick her finger upon the point of a spindle. And when that moment comes, she will fall into a deep, deep sleep. The court stirs with unease, but even here, the curse is not a storm. It is a gentle twilight that settles across the room. The fairy does not shout, nor does she smile with malice. Instead, there is something weary in her gaze, as though she herself has become bound to this strange destiny she now speaks into being. And in this softened telling, the curse feels less like a punishment, and more like the weaving of a thread into the great tapestry of time, one that will guide the princess into slumber rather than sorrow. Around the cradle, the soft glow of candle flames flickers. The good fairies glance at one another, their wings trembling like the leaves of aspen stirred by the night air. For even within this shadow, there remains light. Not all is lost, for the final fairy has yet to speak, and her gift may soften what has been spoken. But before that moment arrives, the silence deepens. The curse itself seems to settle like mist, neither cruel nor kind, only inevitable, as if it were the gentle turning of seasons, or the slow dimming of the day into night. The baby stirs in her cradle but does not cry. Her small fingers curl as though already dreaming of the years ahead. And all who look upon her feel the weight of time itself, vast and unhurried, flowing onward toward what must one day be. And so, the guests breathe again, slowly, as though waking from a dream. The fairy in shadows lowers her gaze and steps back, her presence retreating like a wave that has washed ashore only briefly before slipping again into the sea. The hall remains still, touched by her words, yet not undone by them. For even a curse, when softened, can be seen as another part of the story's journey, a quiet reminder that life holds both light and shadow, rest and waking, beginnings and endings. And now, as we linger with this moment, let your own breath move gently in and out, like the rhythm of the tide. The story continues, unfolding slowly, but for now you may rest in the calm of knowing that even shadows pass, and that peace remains at the center of all things. And now, as the whisper of the curse fades gently into memory, the story moves into a new chapter of time. The princess, still small in her cradle, rests beneath the blessings of kind fairies and the softened words of destiny. Days begin to fold into weeks, weeks into months, and soon, the rhythm of life in the kingdom resumes its gentle pattern. The castle, with its high towers and winding corridors, becomes filled with the quiet music of childhood. Within those walls, the little princess takes her first steps, unsteady yet full of wonder, her laughter spilling into the air like the tinkling of bells. Servants pause in their work just to catch a glimpse of her smile, for it carries warmth into even the dimmest corners of the palace. The queen holds her daughter often, her arms a constant cradle of safety, while the king watches with a gaze softened by love and pride. The years unfold slowly, like pages turning in a treasured book. In the palace gardens, where roses climb in spirals and fountains sing with silver threads of water, the princess begins to discover the world. She reaches out her small hands to touch the velvet petals of blossoms, giggling when the soft spray of a fountain cools her cheeks. Birds dart above her, their songs weaving into the sound of rustling leaves, and she learns to mimic their calls in her own sweet voice. She grows surrounded by gentle guidance. Teachers and caretakers speak to her softly, knowing she listens not only with her ears but also with her heart. Lessons are never harsh but always patient, shaped like stories and lullabies. Numbers and letters come to her like stepping stones across a stream, each one steady beneath her feet. And though the shadow of the curse lingers somewhere in the distance of her future, in these early years she knows only light, kindness, and the soft rhythm of discovery. And so, her childhood becomes a tapestry of gentle moments. There are long afternoons spent beneath tall oaks, where sunlight filters down in dappled gold. There are evenings when she sits at the queen's side, listening to tales of the stars and their ancient stories, her eyes wide with wonder. There are mornings when she wakes to the sound of the kingdom stirring, horses' hooves echoing in the courtyard, and the faint smell of bread drifting from the kitchens. As she grows, the people of the kingdom come to adore her. Whenever she visits the villages with her parents, children rush to greet her, offering small wildflowers gathered from the fields. She kneels to accept them, her laughter mingling with theirs, her presence a gentle reminder that the royal family belongs not only to the castle but also to the hearts of the people. Her kindness becomes her gift, a quiet grace that touches all who meet her. And now, as we linger in this chapter, you might imagine yourself walking alongside her in those gardens or sitting near her as she listens to her mother's bedtime tales. You can feel the peace of her world, the safety of a childhood where every moment carries gentleness, where every path leads to beauty, and where time itself moves like a slow, flowing river. The seasons continue their soft cycle. Winters bring gentle snow that blankets the castle rooftops, and she learns the joy of watching flakes tumble from the sky, her breath clouding in the air as she presses her palms into the fresh powder. Springs arrive with blossoms that paint the orchards in white and pink, and she runs among the petals as though walking in a dream. Summers are filled with warm breezes and the songs of cicadas, her laughter rising with the hum of life around her. And autumns bring crisp air and falling leaves, each one a golden reminder of change, of time moving forward in its patient, unhurried way. In these years, the princess knows nothing of the fate that one day awaits her. The curse lies far ahead, like a distant mountain hidden by morning mist. For now, her days are full of joy, and her nights are filled with peaceful dreams. She is the child of a kingdom's hope, cherished by her family, adored by her people, and watched over always by the fairies whose blessings still surround her like invisible threads of light. And as we pause here, let your breath flow as gently as her days, in and out, steady and calm. For the story continues, carrying us onward with her, and yet here we may rest, knowing that the path of her early life is one of peace, of love, and of gentle wonder. And now, as the years of the princess's early life drift softly into memory, the story turns toward the moment when the threads of blessing and curse gently weave together. Time has carried her from the innocence of childhood into the quiet grace of her 15th year, and with each season that has passed, she has grown more radiant, more kind, and more beloved. The kingdom seems to breathe with her presence, as though the light of her being has spread into every village and valley. Yet, unseen by those who cherish her, the shadow of destiny moves closer, not as a storm, but as a quiet evening that slowly settles across the land. The day begins as any other, filled with calm routine and the simple beauty of life. Sunlight filters into the castle through high windows, brushing across stone floors and the soft folds of velvet drapes. The air carries the faint scent of lavender from the gardens, mingling with the warm aroma of freshly baked bread from the kitchens. Servants move quietly, their voices low and content, while in the great hall, laughter and song rise faintly in celebration of a life well loved. It is a day no one suspects to be touched by fate, and yet it unfolds gently toward the moment long foretold. The princess, curious and filled with the easy wonder of youth, wanders deeper into the castle than she ever has before. Her slippers glide across quiet corridors where tapestries hang heavy with stories of ages past. Dust motes swirl in the beams of light that slip through narrow windows, and the air grows stiller with each step she takes. At last, she finds herself in a tower long forgotten, its staircase winding upward like a path into the clouds. She ascends, each step creaking softly beneath her feet, until she reaches a small chamber at the top. There, in the quiet room, she discovers the old spindle. Its wheel is worn but still, its surface smoothed by hands of long ago. She tilts her head with curiosity, drawn not by fear but by fascination. She reaches out her delicate hand, and in that timeless instant, the prophecy unfolds. Her fingertip touches the sharp point, and a tiny sting awakens the long-dormant spell. She draws in a breath, her eyes flutter, and with the gentlest sigh, she falls into the sleep that was foretold. And yet, in this telling, the sleep is not a tragedy, but a gift. It is not a harsh collapse into darkness, but rather a graceful surrender, like a flower closing its petals at dusk. Her body relaxes as though she has found the most comfortable bed, her breathing deepens, slow and steady, and her face softens into peace. It is as if the world itself hushes in reverence to her slumber. Far below, the spell ripples outward through the castle. Servants, cooks, and guards all pause in their tasks, and one by one, they too fall into rest. The baker sets down his wooden spoon, the gardener leans against a tree, the guards at the gate bow their heads. Even the horses in the stables lower themselves into the hay, eyes closing as though lulled by an unseen lullaby. The entire castle breathes out a single sigh, then grows still. Outside, the enchantment spreads to the gardens and beyond. Roses cease to sway, caught in timeless bloom. Birds fold their wings mid-flight, resting upon branches as though the sky itself has invited them to pause. A hush falls over the kingdom, not heavy or frightening, but deeply serene, like the silence after a gentle snowfall. Even the air seems to slow, filled with quiet expectancy. Around the castle, nature rises to cradle this eternal sleep. Vines begin to grow, curling gently along the stone walls. They are not harsh or entangling, but soft, flowering with blossoms that glow faintly in the light. Over time, they weave a cocoon of protection, sheltering the castle in green and gold. The kingdom beyond continues, but this place becomes a sanctuary, where time holds its breath and waits. And so the princess sleeps, her body resting upon silken sheets, her golden hair spread across the pillow like sunlight captured in stillness. Her chest rises and falls with steady rhythm, her dreams carrying her into worlds untouched by time. In her dream, she wanders through meadows that stretch endlessly, skies painted with soft twilight colors, rivers that murmur with songs of comfort. She is never alone in these dreams, the blessings of the fairies linger still, guiding her through fields of peace, whispering of hope, assuring her that her story is not yet complete. Generations pass beyond the walls of her slumber. Seasons turn, winters laying quiet snow across the land, summers filling the air with warmth and song. Yet within the castle, all remains as it was. The princess's sleep endures, timeless and serene, untouched by the passing years. The people of the kingdom speak of her in hushed tones, not with sorrow, but with reverence, as though she has become a sacred dream they all share. Parents tell their children the tale, and in their telling, the curse becomes less of a shadow and more of a promise, that one day, in its own quiet hour, the story will awaken again. And now, as we linger with her in this long, enchanted sleep, you may feel the stillness within yourself as well. The steady rhythm of her breath becomes your own. The hush of the castle mirrors the quiet within your body. And the vines that grow softly around her resting place seem to cradle not only her, but also you, holding you gently in safety and calm. The story pauses here, resting with her, waiting with her, dreaming with her. And as you listen, you too may drift into your own peaceful slumber, knowing that in every shadow there is light, and in every sleep, there is the promise of waking. Good night. And now, as we return to the castle wrapped in vines and silence, the long sleep begins to lean gently toward its destined end. For years, the princess has rested beneath her veil of dreams, her breath steady, her heart calm, her beauty unchanged by the passage of time. Seasons have drifted endlessly across the land, and yet within those quiet walls, everything has remained the same. It is as though the whole world has been holding its breath, waiting for the moment when life stirs again. One day, a traveler arrives, a prince, though not in the sense of grand titles or pride, but in the quiet way of one whose heart has been guided by stories. From his earliest years, he has heard whispers of a castle hidden beyond thorns, of a princess asleep in timeless rest. The tale has lived in his mind not as conquest, but as wonder, a mystery waiting patiently. And so, with calm determination, he journeys through forests where the sunlight filters in patches, and across hills where the wind hums soft songs, until at last, he reaches the edges of the sleeping kingdom. Before him rise the walls of green and gold, vines interwoven in thick curtains that sway gently in the breeze. Flowers bloom across them, releasing a fragrance that feels both ancient and new, like memories awakening. The prince steps closer, and as he does, the thorns that once threatened to keep all away soften, curling aside, as though they have been waiting just for him. Each step he takes is slow, careful, respectful, until the castle doors stand before him, heavy yet unlocked, as though opening by the will of destiny itself. Inside, the air is still, filled with the faint hum of enchantment. Sunlight spills through high windows, illuminating the figures of those asleep in timeless repose. The baker rests with hands folded, the guards stand silent as statues, the animals slumber in perfect calm. The prince walks softly, his footsteps echoing as though the castle itself is listening. He climbs staircases wrapped in ivy, follows corridors lined with tapestries faded yet beautiful, until at last, he reaches the chamber where she lies. The princess rests upon her bed, her golden hair spread like rays of light, her cheeks touched with the faintest blush of life. She looks as though she has only just closed her eyes, her body perfectly still, her breath so soft it seems like a whisper. The prince pauses, not rushing, for this is not a moment to be hurried. He gazes upon her with quiet awe, knowing he is not here to break a spell but to honor the journey of time itself. He leans closer, his heart steady, and with reverence, he offers a kiss as gentle as the brushing of petals in spring. In that instant, the stillness shifts. Her breath deepens, her eyelids flutter, and the faintest sigh escapes her lips, like the first sound of dawn returning to the earth. Slowly, she opens her eyes, and the room seems to brighten, light spilling more vividly across the walls, colors warming, the spell unwinding in silence. The princess looks into his eyes, not with surprise, but with recognition, as though her dreams have long prepared her for this meeting. Around them, the enchantment lifts, spreading outward like ripples in water. The servants stir, blinking in confusion before smiles bloom across their faces. The horses in the stables stamp their hooves, awake once more. Birds take flight from the towers, their songs rising in joy. The entire castle breathes again, as though it has been restored to the rhythm of life. And yet, even in this awakening, the tone remains gentle, unhurried. It is not a sudden rush of noise or movement, but a soft unfolding, like dawn stretching across the sky. The vines that encased the castle recede slowly, their blossoms scattering like blessings upon the wind. The air feels new, filled with warmth, filled with promise. The princess rises, her movements graceful, her smile serene. She has not lost the years she has slept, for in dreams she has gathered wisdom, patience, and calm. Standing beside the prince, she steps forward into the world renewed, her heart open to whatever paths may lie ahead. The people gather around her, their joy quiet but deep, grateful to see her again, grateful to feel life return. And as we linger here, you may feel within yourself the same sense of awakening, not rushed, not forced, but gentle. Like the princess, you may carry within you a quiet strength, a sense that even after the deepest rests, life continues, soft and full of light. The story comes to its close, yet it does not end, for every sleep carries within it the promise of waking. And as the castle returns to its song, as the kingdom breathes once more, we too may rest in the knowledge that peace always circles back, and that dawn always follows the night. And now, as the tale settles into its final notes, let your own breath soften. Let your body feel calm, your mind unburdened. The princess has awakened, and the story has been told. All is well. And now, my friend, it is time to rest. Good night. And now, as the final moments of our story draw near, we allow the tale to settle gently within the quiet of your mind. The princess has awakened, the kingdom has returned to life, and the echoes of long slumber have faded into memory. Yet, even as the enchantment has lifted, there is still a softness in the air, a lingering hush that reminds us that endings, too, can feel like beginnings. The castle, once draped in silence, now hums with life again. Its halls, once hushed, are filled with footsteps that move calmly, with voices that carry warmth but never break the gentle stillness. Laughter rises softly, like ripples across a calm pond. The windows glow with golden light as the evening sun casts its final touch over stone walls and ivy leaves. The kingdom, awake once more, carries itself not with haste, but with quiet reverence, as though aware of the years it spent in silence. The princess steps slowly through her kingdom, her presence both familiar and renewed. Those who see her bow their heads, not out of formality, but out of love. Her smile reassures them that all is well, that life has returned with kindness rather than force. She lingers with her people, touching their hands, meeting their eyes, offering the kind of calm that only someone who has traveled through dreams could carry. And the prince, who journeyed through thorns and time, walks beside her with the same gentleness. He does not claim the moment as victory, but as a gift, a reminder that patience, respect, and quiet courage can lead us to the places we are meant to find. Together they move through the awakening world, each step a soft unfolding of life's rhythm. Beyond the castle walls, the forest breathes again. The trees sway with slow grace, their leaves whispering in the evening air. Birds return to their nests, and streams flow clear and bright, carrying reflections of moonlight. The land itself seems to sigh in relief, as though its heart has resumed its steady beat. Even the night sky, with its stars beginning to shimmer, feels touched by this calm renewal. And as you listen, you may notice how the story is not rushing toward its close, but gliding gently, like a river that has no need to hurry, for it knows it will always reach the sea. Each moment folds quietly into the next, like pages turning in a book read slowly, with care. As the princess retires to her chamber once more, not for endless sleep but for a night of peaceful rest, she gazes out her window at the horizon. The sky has deepened into velvet blue, and the first stars glimmer like lanterns guiding the world into night. She feels no fear of darkness, for she knows that within rest lies renewal, and that every night carries the promise of dawn. The castle settles into its evening hush. The great hall dims, torches flicker low, and soft music fades into silence. Servants and villagers retreat to their homes, their hearts lighter, their bodies ready to rest. The air itself grows still, touched with the coolness of night, carrying with it the fragrance of blooming flowers and fresh earth. And here, we find the gentle truth of every story, that no matter how great the enchantment, no matter how long the slumber, there is always a return to peace. Endings do not need to be final, they can be gentle rests between chapters, pauses that prepare us for the next journey. So now, let your own breath follow this rhythm, slow and steady, like the tide rising and falling upon a quiet shore. With each inhale, you gather calm, and with each exhale, you release the weight of the day. You may imagine yourself within that quiet castle, wrapped in the safety of its walls, or beneath the night sky where stars shine kindly above you. Wherever your mind drifts, know that you are safe, and that peace is near. The princess has found her awakening, and now she, too, drifts toward rest, not endless, but healing. The kingdom, once silenced, hums gently with life again. And you, listening now, are part of this same quiet rhythm, the rhythm of stories, of endings that soothe, of nights that carry us toward dreams. And as we close the final chapter, allow yourself to let go, knowing the story will remain within you, waiting quietly whenever you wish to return. There is nothing more to do, no more pages to turn. Only rest, only stillness, only the tender embrace of night. Good night, dear listener. May your dreams be calm, your body light, and your heart at ease. Until we meet again in another tale, may sleep carry you gently, and may you awaken with the same quiet joy as the princess herself. Good night.
you.